Greetings, Dwayne, CFRN. Today is Tuesday, 22nd day of March 2016. If you missed today's radio show, we had a great show. Garrett Jones joined us. We talked about everything from the markets to Monsanto. If you're not familiar with Monsanto, if you're not familiar with the popcorn you're popping up for your kids in the microwave, the GMO popcorn, you really owe it to yourself, to your own health, and to your children's health to dig beneath the label. Now, as fate would have it, when Garrett came on, we had a hitch in the glitch, and so we ended up with a recording of today's radio show that's broken into two parts. Part one is perfectly fine. Unfortunately, part two, where Garrett comes on, when I say broken, it's broken. I'm trying to recover it. I'm trying to restore it, trying to re-render it. That's probably way too much information, or TMI, as the cool kids say. But I hope I can capture it because it was truly a great show. He shared with us a quote from Aldous Huxley. Now, before I fired up the charts and video cam, I should have probably taken care of getting that together, but I didn't. So I'm going to do it right now. Let's go see if we can find ourselves that quote. Aldous Huxley. Now, if you were tuned into the radio show, you heard me talk about how my computer was lagging because the mothership here runs 24/7. Aldous Huxley. And I, of course, promised myself that I'm going to reboot at least once a week. Problem is, I remember to do it once a month, or when it gets all bogged down like it is right now. I don't know what book he was quoting from, so I'm going to take a term from the quote, mindless concentration camps, I believe, and really want you to give thought to this, and I really hope I can recover. The show today was just one of those great moments in time. I didn't know Garrett was going to even come onto the show today until right before the show. I got an email, and he said, hey, I think I should come on. I just published a new observations. That's what he calls his newsletter. It's sporadic. He writes it when he feels like there's something that needs to be written about. He has provided me with a copy, and he has given me authorization to pass along a copy to you. Here's what you got to do. If you're not on our mailing list, or if you're not a partner, go to apply.cfrn.net. apply.cfrn.net. Name, email address. I will send you a copy of the newsletter, Observations by Garrett Jones, and you'll also get a 5-day free trial to our live trading room. You can use it, not use it. It's entirely up to you, but I got to tell you, we've been having just some great markets, although I'm going to talk to you in a minute if this thing ever loads. I'm going to talk to you about, and I'm going to show you some of the great trades we've had, not only in the live trading room, but also the Concierge trade alerts, the one trade a days. They've been, I don't know, by the grace of God, stunning. I mean, they really have. And I really want you to have an opportunity to partake. I mean, goodness. It's the old saying, make hay when the sun shines. So, yeah, I guess I really should have done this before I fired up the camera. I have the charts already marked up. I did that during the radio show. So the recap that I'm going to do, we'll just fly through the recap in hardly no time at all. But, in fact, we could let this quote percolate in the background, I suppose, as we're flying through the recap. Goodness. Okay, this got attention. All right, let me come over here. Let's see if this thing will even give me Google. Google.com. You know, I've been having some problems with Firefox lately. Are you a Firefox person? The most popular browser now, of course, is Chrome. It's taken the largest market share. And I don't know, maybe, you know, maybe this has something to do with it. So let me just drag this down out of the way. And if it ever gets around to it, if it ever finds, oh, that's right. I've now sent it to just look for Google. Pretty simple task. Could you go find Google? Let's close this tab. It's just, it's not happening. It's not a happening tab. We don't need Dan's performance tracker right now. Hey, but if you've never been to this link, you should go there, cfrn.net/performance-tracker. You should check this thing out. There's a ton of tutorials that tell you how to use it, helps you track your daily performance as compared to the 24/20 blueprint. So you kind of know where you're at, where you stand in regard. It'll even give you a little chart that shows like you're ahead of schedule, or maybe you're running a little bit behind on what it takes to get from 1 to 20 contracts in 24 months. That's the whole purpose of the 24/20 blueprint, to get you from 1 contract to 20 in 24 months. I don't want to improve anything. Thank you for the offer. It's most kind of you. I just want to go to Google. I just want to share with my friends a quote by Aldous Huxley. It's a very powerful quote, and they'll enjoy it much. They'll thank me later. They'll say, man, thank you for sharing that quote. And we thank Garrett for sharing it. All right, enough of that dribble. Let's just pull it over here, get it out of the way, let it do its work, whatever that is, and we'll get back to it. Now, let me just tell you that last night when I sent out, now I've already sent out tonight's alerts, so I got to roll it down, but last night we sent out the alerts. We were looking to be buyers in the S&P 500 at 2049.25. We were looking to be sellers at 2475. In case you haven't noticed, the market's been sort of quiet, sort of violently sideways for 2 days now. Well, 2.5. We start trading Sunday night on the Globex Open. Sunday night on the Globex Open, I gave everybody on the planet that follows us, which is, there's a couple of you, a short trade. Of course, all the hecklers in the audience emailed me yesterday, too. And they said, it didn't work. Well, if you'll notice, I didn't say it's going to happen on Monday at noon or Tuesday at 2. I simply said, this is what I feel the best trading opportunity we have in front of us, one of the best right now. I'm going to share it with you, everybody, the general public, at no charge. So it's amazing to me that people can take something that's absolutely free and find fault. But such is the state of the world in which we live, okay? So today during the radio show, when I did the recap, I got nothing. Okay, looks like this wants to play ball now. Let's see. It could be just teasing me. All right, Control V. See if that works. Boy, looks like we're on to something. Enter. I did it. I don't know if I said mindless concentration camps, when in fact it might have been painless concentration camps. So we're on the right track. We're going to get there. Okay, it may take a while, but we'll get there. Now you can just, this is the type of thing you could just read over, not give it a second thought. The ultimate revolution. It talks about the final revolution at the end of this quote. So, all right. I think we're back in the holding pattern. So, while this page takes a while to load. Hey, I don't know if where you live, they have a thing called Gigablast. But I have like 50 megs up. No. I have 50 megs down, over 50 megs download speed and over 10 up. And that's really fast. I have to power the radio servers and all the other stuff. But here in Phoenix, there's a new product, Cox Communications, introducing it neighborhood by neighborhood. And of course, my neighborhood hasn't got it yet. But for $150 a month, you get not 50 megabytes, but 500. Actually, they're advertising 850. 850? I mean, that's faster than fast. That catches up with itself before you can say it all. It's like science fiction. So anyway, $20.49 and a quarter. This page over here is still just laboring away, trying to load. You never know. It might. If it doesn't, we'll use this browser to take care of it. So $20.49 and a quarter, it didn't happen, and it still hasn't happened. The short side was $20.24.75. Hasn't happened. Okay. The market, S&P 500, the bellwether, as it was presented to me by my original guru back in 2005, 2006. You know, I put so much faith and trust in this guy. If he'd asked me to shave my head and eat from a simple wooden bowl, I was so naive, I probably would have done it. That's how desperately I wanted to learn how to trade. I just knew it was my calling. I knew it was my future. It was just, how do I get from here to there? A person who only knows how to trade stocks on a whisper, you know, when your buddy calls you and says, hey, it's at 90 cents and it's going to $9. You know, buy all you can. Oh, okay. How'd that work out for you? It didn't work out so good for me. So that's why I came to the world of Emini Futures, and that's why I changed everything. I went from trading on a whisper to trading via technical analysis, which is nice, but you have to learn how to trade using technical analysis. And I hung out a sign, literally, that said, student needs teacher willing to pay. I'll sharpen your pencil. I'll make the coffee. Just teach me. I just want to learn how to trade. I didn't want any magic. I wasn't looking for, you know, some secret sauce. I wanted to understand what a person needed to understand to read a chart, evaluate what was happening in the market. I mean, I believed that could be done. I believed it was possible. I believed in the concept of technical analysis. Now, I need to pause this for one moment, and I'm not sure the best way to do that. So rather than pause it, I think I'll just shut my door. That's what I'll do. There's a pause button somewhere, but maybe shutting the door will send a signal to my lovely children who come home full of energy and want to make a lot of noise. Kids are noisy. If you're thinking of having kids, just bear in mind they come with noise. Okay, so Sunday night, Globex Open was right here. Okay? And since the Sunday night Globex Open at 6 p.m. Eastern, the market has managed to go violently sideways. That's a term I picked up from Mike Reed, good friend. If you've never read his story, you should. TradeStalker.com. Be sure to read his personal story, what he's gone through in his life. It's truly amazing, and he's a hero, one of my few heroes. Here's how you reach us, 949-42-EMINI. If you need a free mentoring session to help evaluate where you're at in the world of trading, what you know, what you don't know, what you could know, what our services are all about, what we offer, what we don't offer, you can go to this address and you can sign up. Now, CFRN partners, as part of the mentoring program, have unlimited access to both myself and Michael as often as needed for as long as they're an active partner. The address below, emini.cfrn.net, that takes you to our Google Plus page. And you say, what's the Google Plus page? It's where we built an Emini community. In the beginning, it was just going to be a couple of posts on a web page, and it became almost like a life's work. We have a library there, free to the public, with probably easily 1,000 hours of video. There's radio shows, webinars, seminars, Q&A sessions, interviews, classes, charts, recaps. Man, it's got anything to do with Emini Futures, you'll find it there. All right. So when you have a chance, go to emini.cfrn.net. If you want to take our free trial, go to apply.cfrn.net. And if you take the free trial this week, I'll send you a copy of Garrett Jones' Observations. If you're already a partner, just shoot me an email. It says, hey, Dwayne, I'd like a copy, and I'll fire you off a copy as well. Keep in mind, we never rent or sell email addresses. I've just never understood that. But anyway, we're not guilty. So Monday, the market gave us, based on our concierge trade alerts, sell 2034.75. The first move gave us 3 3/4 points. Now, these weekly trading zones are last week's zones. I don't show this week's zones to the general public until sometimes late Wednesday afternoon, but usually Thursday morning on the radio show, because that's part of what a CFRN partner gets that sets them apart from the rest of the trading world are our weekly trading zones. You can Google CFRN weekly trading zones. You'll find a number of articles I've written over the years about what they are, what they do, how you utilize them. And then if you click the Images tab at the top of the page, Google has archived charts going all the way back to 2009. And I'm about to upload a whole new bunch to Google, and I assume in time they'll include them in that archive. Okay? Now, some other folks' charts somehow get in with ours, get mixed in. I don't know how that works, but you'll learn to spot what our charts look like. They've changed a little bit over the years, but not too much. Once you look at a few. And what'll be amazing is if you go and look at last week's weekly trading zones, I did either a video or a bunch of still shots at emini.cfrn.net of the zones and how price plays from zone to zone to zone. And when it gets to a zone, it tends to consolidate. Then it makes an attempt to go to the next zone overhead. I spilled the beans on the radio show today. I couldn't help it because price couldn't seem to get above this level this week. Well, you didn't hear it from me, but that's one of this week's weekly zones. So I'll be revealing it to the GP, general public. And so then there's 2 points, and then there's another 2 points. and I think another 2 points, and then another 2.25 points. You know, no home runs, just base hits. But if you're trading our 24/20 blueprint, you only need to make 2 points a day in the S&P or $100 in any other market. It's $100 per contract per day. Now, when you become a student in our mentoring program, you first have to qualify before you can trade live. Put you in the simulator, and you got to give us 10 days back-to-back of consistent results, clearly defined, nothing nebulous, nothing ambiguous. When you complete your 10 days, you graduate to trading live, one account, or one contract. You have to increase your account balance by $2,000 before you get our approval, or green light, if you will, to add a second contract. In my humble opinion, these companies that give people a week's worth of training, maybe throw a few indicators at them, and say, go get them, without any warning or any training or any understanding of risk management, position sizing, all of these very important things that keep you alive as a trader, that should be illegal. I mean, it really should. Because a person can lose their life savings pretty doggone quick that way. The way our method works, where you have to qualify to go live, and then you have to actually increase your account balance by $2,000 before you can add another contract. And if you stop being consistently profitable trading the one contract, guess what? You got to go back to sim. We're not punishing you. We're saving you, okay? We don't want to watch you bleed out on the trading floor. If need be, we'll grab you by the ankles and pull you back into the safety of the simulator until we can help you figure out what part of our methodology or what you've missed in the reading of our indicator set. Because if you understand our very simple methodology, and I assure you, it is the simplest you're going to find. In fact, the first time I explain it to you, you're going to go, well, wait a minute. It can't be that simple. Well, it is. We built it that way on purpose. We could have made it really complicated so, you know, it looked very sophisticated, and then we could charge a lot of money like some of the other people charge. Just because you pay a lot of money for something doesn't mean anything other than you paid a lot of money for something. We priced our product at what we believe is below market value by far compared to other companies, and I think we deliver more because we're there with you live every day, every trading day for 3 months. 3. You can schedule private mentoring time with us anytime you want. You know, of course, you got to go to the booking page and you got to find an open slot and you got to sign up and all that, but we're there. We don't disappear into the night with your money. We're now in our second decade of broadcasting live 24/7, doing our live daily radio show, and teaching people just like you and me how to trade. I taught myself, and so in turn now, and Michael taught himself, and then we taught ourselves together, you know, 2 under one roof with the same ideas and beliefs. It's pretty powerful. I read that in a really good book. You might want to read that book sometime if you've never read it. And so if you want to know more, book a mentoring session or just give us a call or send us an email, support@cfrn.net. We work way too much, so chances are you could call or email late at night and you'd still get a hold of someone. Or if you called really early in the morning before most people are out of bed, you'd probably get a hold of somebody. You may get the voicemail because we're on the phone. Leave a message, we'll call you back. If you don't leave a message, we won't call you back. Also, when you go to apply.cfrn.net, you're going to get an automated email response within 5 minutes. If you don't, go to your promotions folder. If you're using Gmail, go to your spam, your bulk, whatever your email provider, wherever they put emails that are sent by a robot, okay? And each email provider has a special place to put those. You got to find it. You got to click the link to actually register for the free trial, okay? Otherwise, we don't know you've registered and you're sitting out there going, what's up? I signed up and nothing happened, okay? There's a second step. And then you're going to get the link and the password to the live trading room. You can sign up on a Tuesday, on a Thursday, it doesn't matter. You'll get 5 days in the live trading room. You also get to use our indicator set for 5 days. Why? Why would we teach you how to trade as much as we can teach you in 5 days and how to use our indicators and actually let you use our indicators? Why would we allow you to try it before you buy it? Because we believe in it. And we think if you actually go through it, follow the proper steps, go by the rules, put on and take off trades the way you're supposed to, at the end of 5 days, you're going to go, whoa, I thought I knew everything. And turns out I did know a lot of good stuff, but no one had ever packaged it up for me in such an easily digestible way. I can learn how to do this. I have found what I'm looking for. That's where we think your thoughts will be at the end of day 5. Now, on day 1, you're going to be confused because Michael's got 5 charts up, and you're going to go, wait a minute, I can't learn how to trade 5 markets at one time. We don't want you to. The reason we have 5 different markets up is to show you that the same indicators, same time frame, and same setup works on every single futures market in the exact same way. So when you go from crude to the S&P or gold to the Dow or the Dow to the Russell, the only thing you change is the symbol. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else needs to be changed. Now you're scratching your head. You're going, well, I've been around the block a time or two, and I know that's not possible. Well, okay. I say it is. So I don't like to say I challenge you, but I encourage you to open your mind and your eyes and give me 5 days. Give me 5 days to show you that there is a way. This is no get rich quick. Some call it a slow boat to China. But the good news is we actually get there. You know, it may take a while, but we get there. And now, how many different methods have you tried? How much money have you spent? How many different courses and classes and indicators and oscillators? I mean, how much? So here's an opportunity. And I know what you're thinking. Well, yeah, and that's what you're trying to tell me is I need one more course. And but the difference between what I'm talking to you about and what others might have talked to you about is that I'm going to let you drive it home, drive it to work and all that for 5 days. And then at the end of 5 days, you either bring it back, give me the keys and go, nah, thanks, but no thanks. Or you come back at the end of 5 days and say, wow, what's it going to cost me to drive this home? That's who we want as a partner. Not the guy that we got to twist his arm, you know, to convince him he needs this, but the person who says, I need this. What do I got to do next? Where do I pay? Who do I pay? How much do I pay? You're going to be surprised. You really are going to be surprised at what you pay when you consider that we're going to be with you 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, for 3 months. It's a 90-day mentoring program. You have unlimited access to Michael and I, you know, within reason. Anybody that starts to abuse that privilege, we start to talk about it. And you have to do your share. You got to write your business plan. You got to write your trading plan. And we give you the instructions. We show you exactly how to do it. And if you don't do it, if you're not willing to put forth the effort, if you're not willing to draw up the blueprints before you build the house, then don't be surprised when the house comes tumbling down, the first heavy rain or the first mighty wind that blows. All right, so there's not much more we can say about the S&P. So I'm done. That's my pitch, okay? I'm all pitched out. Let's go look at the Dow. Now, today on the Dow, last night when we sent out the alerts at 8:15, oh, that says EST. It should say EDT, Eastern Daylight Time. On the YM, we said to sell 17,495. Okay? And to those who did, they were rewarded. The Dow pays $5 a point. S&P pays $50 a point. You'll notice there's a 10-to-1 relationship between the S&P and the Dow. If you're listening to the radio on the drive home and the guy says, and the Dow was up 100 points today, he may not mention the S&P, but when you get home, check. If the Dow is up 100, 10-to-1 says that the S&P was up 10. If the Dow was down 200, the S&P was down 20. That plays out day after day after day. And oh, how we all wish that one of them was the leader all the time, and we would just trade the other one. When the first one moved, we would trade the second one, and we would all have our toe in the sand somewhere. Doesn't work that way. How do we know? Because we tried. We milked that cow for a long time, only to find out it was a bull. Bulls don't give milk. So the first move was 60 points. Okay, we were selling 17,495, and the swing low was, I'll show you as soon as my computer catches up. Come on, shine your light. All right, the swing low was 17,435. So in 30 minutes, 1 hour, 60 points. If you're trading the 2420 blueprint, if your goal is to go from 1 to 20 contracts over a period of 24 months, you need 20 points if you're going to trade the Dow. Now, do all of your points have to come from the same market? No. If you took 10 points out of the Dow and 1 point out of the S&P, that would be $100. And all you have to do is gross $100 per contract per day, and you graduate in 24 months. I'm telling you, trading is not easy, but it can be simple. Grabbing the couple points a day, that's not even the hard part. The hard part is all the other mind stuff that goes on, and the impatience, and the lack of discipline, and there's a lot of stuff. Okay, obviously, if it was easy, everybody would do it, but it's not easy. However, we have made it simple. The next move down, important prices, important areas are almost always tested. Okay, you'll see it on our charts over and over and over. Price gets back above the trigger, drops 34 points. Gets back above the trigger, drops 33 points. Gets back above the trigger and drops 13 points. Now remember, in order to qualify for today's production for the 2420 blueprint, you only need 20 points, not 60 or 34 or 33 or 13. However, the beauty of the market is it gives us so many opportunities over the course of the day. And here is even another one. This one happened at 3 p.m. Eastern. The swing low was 470, and so that would be 25 points. So if I wanted to take the time to write in 25 right here, I could do that, and then price got above it again, and it dropped another, oh, what did it go down to? 485. Is that the swing low there? 480. The swing low was, it doesn't want to tell me. 476. So from 95 to 75, that's 20. So that's another 19. But now, where does it cut off? It cuts off when I send out the new set of alerts. Okay? And tonight I sent them at 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. All right? Okay. So next on our list is the Russell. And by the way, that other page over there, it still hasn't loaded. So we'll open it up with a different browser before I depart the premises. Nope, that's not the one. I want this one and this one. I said this one. Yeah, that one. Okay. So last night, the email said, sell 1091 on the Russell. RLMM6, sell 1091. If you did, now, this right here came within one tick of hitting the trigger, but it didn't hit the trigger. This one hit the trigger, and it dropped 6 points plus. It was almost 7. The Russell pays $100 a point. S&P 50 a point, Dow 5 a point, Russell 100 a point. And yes, beginning April 1st, the ICE exchange is going to charge you $100 per month for the Russell data. Now that's equivalent to 1 point on one contract, because this move here, okay, if you got out at the exact swing low, which we don't teach you how to do because we don't even know how to do that. We teach you how to trail your stop and maximize the move, maximize the profit potential, but we don't get out at swing highs and swing lows. We're not into the whole prophetic thing. That's just not us, okay? So let's say worst case scenario you got, on the pullback, when you realize the market's, retracing, to go do what? Get back above the trigger. So maybe you get out with 400 per contract. Well, that's a nice day's work with one contract. Imagine what it feels like once you've worked your way, earned your way up to 10. If you're going to get to 20 over 24 months, where will you be in 12 months? You could be at 10. Now, you might have to hit the pause button. Maybe you take vacation. Maybe you get sick. Maybe somebody in your family falls ill. Maybe life just happens. And so your trading has to be put on hold for a period of time. Well, then obviously that's going to extend the amount of time that it takes you to increase your number of contracts. But you always increase one at a time. You don't try to goose it and jump by 2 or jump by 3. No. And you think, well, wait a minute. 1, 10, what's the difference? It's a big difference. It's a mental thing. You can take my word for it or not. If you take my word for it, it'll save you time and money. If you want to prove it to yourself, it's going to cost you time and cost you money. But the good news is, once you've proved it to yourself, you'll be able to fix it right away. Because I've just explained to you how, okay? By increasing one at a time. Okay. So after this was almost a 7-point move, but I just called it 6. I'm a conservative. I voted today. Arizona was our primary vote day. Am I going to tell you who I voted for? No. But I can't wait to see the results come in tonight. Next move, 4 points from 1091 down to a swing low of 10. I guess we'll call it 1087. That looks about right. From 91 to 87, that's like 4 points exactly. So that's after $600 per contract. That's what the market made available. The market then made $400 per contract available. It actually made a lot more available. I'm being very conservative with that 4-point number because look at what happened over here. The swing low on this was, no, come on. I would just close that other browser. I have this fear that it might shut everything down, and I don't want to have to start from scratch. So what's the thing? I'm looking to the right. You see the horizontal line on my cursor. It says 1083.70. So let's round that up to 84. All right. So from 84 to 91, that would be 7. So this was actually a 7-point move. But here's my thought. Once it goes 4, if you're trailing your stop fairly close, or if you're using our indicator set to trail your stop, then you're going to, on this pullback here, unless you have firm conviction that the market is going substantially lower and you have put your stop where the market tells you to put the stop. Did you know the market tells you where to place your stop? It does. And when you become a partner and you and I start having some mentoring sessions together, I'll teach you how to read the market, and I'll show you what the market is showing you, and you'll know exactly where to place your stop on every trade. On some trades, you'll say, Mr. Market, you got to be kidding me. I'm not going to risk that much. And Mr. Market says, okay. And then he goes on about his business. And then the next time there's a trade set up, he tells you where you should put your stop, and you go, all right, yeah, I'm willing to put that much risk on for that much potential, okay? Be careful with the risk-reward thing. Risk is fixed. Reward's not. When somebody tells you, well, this trade has a 2-to-1 reward-risk ratio. Okay, so you know for a fact that you're going to risk 5 points on the trade. But you have no clue what kind of reward is waiting on that pot at the end of the rainbow. I'm not talking about a doobie. The pot at the end of the rainbow, you don't even know if there is a pot at the end of the rainbow. Okay? So you get into the trade, you risk 5 points, the thing starts to draw down on you. You know, maybe you had a couple ticks positive, maybe you went 2 points positive, but then it comes back and stops you out for 5 points, and you're like, well, wait a minute. That guy said that there was a 2-to-1 reward to risk ratio in the trade. They're clowning you. Why? Because people want to believe. People want to be successful, and so they want to believe. If you say it with enough conviction and a deep voice, and you have a swagger in your walk, and you're tall and can play the guitar, I mean, who wouldn't believe you, right? I'm just telling you, it's a fairy tale. The next move went 1.5 points. That's no fairy tale. That's $150 per contract for the 1 contract trader. It's $1,500 for the 10 contract trader. That little move right there, that's what it's all about. Okay? Now, the new alerts have already come out. So, let's go to the next market, which is crude oil, GCL K6. We have rolled forward, and so have you. GCLK. We said to sell 41.15 or to buy 41. What do we say to buy? Buy 41.85. Okay, it went to 41.90. If you're trading live trading room style, you got out at break even. If you were trading it any other way, you got stopped out. Yes, we do get stopped out. Everybody gets stopped out. Anybody that tells you they got some method, whatever, that, you know, oh, there's the no stop method where you don't use a hard stop, and people using that method, you know, they were stuck in an NQ trade for how many years? From 2008 to 2015 or something. You don't want that. Always, always use a hard stop. In our live trading room, we never risk more than 8 ticks. Doesn't matter what market it is, we never risk more than 8 ticks. On bonds, we only risk 4. When you move into the concierge trade alerts and the 1 trade a days, those are bigger picture looks at the market, and so we do take on additional risk at that point. Now, on this break even or stop out here in crude oil, I can tell you that based upon where Mr. Market was telling me I should place my stop, I would have never taken that trade. No, not no way, not no how, all that. I love quoting The Wizard of Oz. Not no way, not no how. On the short side, selling 41.15, we had a 20 tick move. Okay, at $10 a tick, it's 200 bucks. And then, because important prices in important areas are almost always tested, price gets back above the trigger, and the market hands up 38 ticks. And then price gets back above the trigger, and it hands over 20, 38, 15. Now at $10 a tick, how many do you need to be done for the day if you're trading the blueprint? 10. The $100 per contract per day, that's gross, by the way. And, oh, by the way, you have 10 trades available every day to make the 100 bucks. We tried to make it as simple as possible. We couldn't make it easy, but we did do our best to make it simple. Okay? All right. Now, what time of day did this beauty take place? Because if it's too late in the day, well, it looks like 4:30. So it's possible. I mean, the markets were open. And so the swing low was 41. So that's about a 15 tick drop. So, you know, potential for another 150 bucks. And that's it for crude for the day. Okay. All right. After crude, we're now looking at the NQ. Buy 44.22. Let's have a look at that. I said, let's take a look at that. All right. Now, the sell side was 43.99. Okay. Dropped 15 points. Important prices, important areas. Dropped 7 points. Once again, price goes above the trigger, and we drop 11 points. Okay. How many points do you need? 5. If all you're looking to do is make your 100 bucks for the blueprint, you need, here's how it works. $5 per tick. 4 ticks to a point. So that's $20 a point. 5 points, 100 bucks. Okay? So this was 3 times what you needed. This was more than you needed, double what you needed. And then on the long side, we said to buy 44.22. First move, 6 points. Second move, back below the trigger, up we go again. Now, the last time I measured it, it was 18 points. But I think it may have traveled a little higher in the day. So it looks to me like that's a pretty solid 44.40. So from 22 to 40, that would be 18. So I guess that was when I measured it last. Okay? So that's how our NQ traders did today. Next, we have gold. Gold, you say? Yes, gold. The shiny yellow metal that everyone loves. Whether it's in bars, coins, doubloons, or jewelry, people like gold. And they've been buying it and using it as a storehouse of value for a very long time. Okay. All right. Is the market going to give us a gold chart? That's the real question. Let's try one more time. There we go. All right. The alert said to buy 1252. And if you bought 1252 per the instructions, the first run up, 8 points or $800 per contract. That's what the market made available. Are you going to get out with 800? No. As it starts to pull back, if you're using our indicator set, you're going to take an exit. Okay? Price gets back below the trigger and it rallies again, and then it's back below the trigger and it rallies again. 4 points is $400 per contract. Back below the trigger, another rally, $500 per contract. Okay? And on the sell side, we never triggered because our sell side was 1241. Okay? So it was buy, buy, buy on the gold. Okay. All right. Our last market, we have two final markets, bonds and beans. So let's go to the bonds. We're looking to buy 6204, sell 6118. Was it Monday? Yeah, I think, yeah, yesterday we were one tick shy of $1,000 per contract, which is just a nice round number. I mean, 800 right here. I mean, that's nothing to complain about. Okay. Bonds, here we go. Oh boy, a lot happened in bonds since I measured earlier today. Yeah, see, here's the one tick shy of 1,000 per contract yesterday. So last night we emailed our subscribers, buy 162.04. We ran up 18 ticks at 31.25 per tick. Now, fast math on my dollar store calculator. You guys think I kid about it? I'm not kidding. This thing has served me so many years. Now I went out, I decided to treat myself. I bought a brand new dollar store solar calculator. Doesn't work. This one with the detachable lens now, or the detachable glass, thanks to my daughter, who, by the way, Tooth Fairy came to see her last night. Yeah. Except she did the most incredible thing. Now, this is not a tall tale. Last night, my daughter came in. Dad, you know, you're always working. And I'm like, well, honey, I'll be done in a few minutes. And then we'll spend some time together. And she said, my tooth came out at school today. She's had a tooth that had just been barely hanging on for a couple days. It finally came out. She said, Dad, I know about the Tooth Fairy and all that. She said, I want to give you my tooth. And she said, whatever you can get from, I'm not making this up. She said, whatever you can get from the Tooth Fairy, you can apply it to the bills. And then you won't have to work so hard. God, I melted. She's 8. She's wise beyond her age. But she also, you know, has some social issues. And it comes from, you know, all of you who are part of the CFRN family know that my wife and I adopted late in life. And these children went through living hell. I mean living hell before they came to be with us. And to see the change and what's transpired, and the fact that she wanted to help me pay the bills so I didn't have to work so many hours. Talk about a ripper, man. I said, you pull the door shut behind you when you leave, and thank you, because I didn't want her to see me cry. And I don't want you to see me cry, so I'm not gonna. So there. 18 times 31.25 equals a lot. How much? Well, the dollar store calculator says it's $562.50. $562.50 per contract. Okay? And then, because important prices in important areas are almost always tested, it did 10 ticks. at 31.25 per tick. No dollar store calculator needed. It's $312.50. And then price, okay, I didn't calculate this because of the incredible drawdown, all right? Now, if it had drawn down below the trigger, I would have, calculated it, but it didn't. It went from 162.04 all the way up to 162.31. That's 27 ticks times 31.25 per tick. But see, if you're in this long trade, as it pulls all the way back here, if you follow what we teach you, you're going to get stopped out. Okay? All right. Now, the sell side was 161.18, and that, say it ain't so. It is. See, we do get stopped out. I have proof right here. One tick. It triggered 161.18, and it dropped to 161.17. And when it's time to close the market, when the markets are ready to close, we go flat. Now, you can see that this position's on the move, and the new alerts are embracing this move. So, partners, I hope you got your charts up and running, because it's so nice to make your daily bread the night before so that either you can wake up the next morning and spend time with your family, or sleep in if you want, or go to the gym. You don't have to sit and stare at the charts. I mean, if you're new to the business and you're just learning, and you do need some screen time, okay? But I caution my students about negative screen time, okay? There is a fine line between good quality screen time, learning a new business, and bad screen time, where you are doing yourself more harm than good. So, should you decide to enter our mentoring program, I will school you or teach you to the best of my ability on where that line is, how to spot it, how to know it, and how to avoid it. Okay? Now, there's one last market, the bean, the soybean. ZSK. Wow. Did beans actually move today? Or is my chart broken? Since we rolled into the K contract in beans, November beans, man, we just were breaking records left and right. And since we rolled over into K, not so much. Okay, last night, soybeans, buy 908 or sell 894. Is that 908 or 906? 906, buy 906. Okay. 906. I didn't highlight these earlier, and I'm not going to mess with it because I want to get through this. So you can see 906 is this line, this white line right here. White line, blow away. Remember that song from the 80s? Yeah, it was about that stuff. Sell 894. Did that come into play? I don't think so. No, it did not. Okay, so we're talking about simply buying 906. Okay, so here's the line, 906. Now you need 2 pennies in beans to make your daily goal. In other words, you need to go from 906 to 908. If you use an 8-tick hard stop, you'll get stopped out at 904. And so did this run to its target? Yes. Did it run beyond its target? Yes. It hit 914, okay, off of 906. Important prices, important areas, okay? And so we ran up to 907. That's 1 point. That's 4 ticks at $12.50 per tick. So that's a $50 move, okay? But you're looking for 2 ticks because you want to be done for the day. Unfortunately, your hard stop, if you're using an 8-tick hard stop, you get taken out here. That's part of trading. Don't fall for anything. You don't have to become a partner of ours. You don't have to study with us. But don't spend your hard-earned money on anything or anybody that tells you they've got a way you're never going to get it stopped out. They got it figured. It's rigged. The government's in control. They've broken the code. Just don't fall for that, please. Give your money to some worthwhile charity of your choice. Just don't give it to the people that are trying to rob you blind, because they're trying to rob you blind. They are. It's impossible. The best trader on planet Earth on a good day will be profitable 7 out of 10 trades. Okay? That's a nice living. Now, you're brand new. Or maybe you're not brand new, but you haven't been consistently profitable. So you're going to outdo this guy who his life's work has been trading, and he's profitable 7 out of 10 trades. It's very easy not only for others to fool us because we want this so bad, but we fool ourselves. Be careful of that, okay? So we ran from the trigger at 906 down to 904. That's an 8-tick hard stop out. If you were using a larger stop based on your method or any method that I've taught you, yes, you would have stayed in the trade, but for the purpose of this, let's just say you got stopped out. Okay. Then you triggered again, and you made a parabolic move up to 914. So from 906 to 914, that's 8 cents. So you got stopped out for 2 cents, and then you had a trade that put 8 cents on the table. So let's say out of the 8 cents, you were only able to, on the drawdown, you finally got out, and so you walked away with 5 cents, but you got to factor in the 2 cents on the stop out, and so you grossed 3 cents. So that's $150 per contract for the day. And for the purposes of the blueprint, you only got to gross 100 a day. So even though you got stopped out. Oh, this morning in the live trading room, Michael got stopped out 3 times in a row. First 3 trades of the day, he got stopped out. Did he freak out? No. Kick the dog? No. Scream at the wife? No. Throw a monitor out the window? No. He took the next trade. That's what we teach. We do what we teach. Oh, I didn't even notice this. Oh, yeah, I did. We came back to 906 and ran up another 6 cents. So you had an 8-cent move and a 6-cent move. So 14 cents. So out of the 14 cents, if, I don't know, maybe you caught 10. Minus your 2, 8. So it could have been a $400 day. Certainly you could have made your $100. But back to Michael. This morning in today's live trading room, and if you watch the recap for the live trading room today, which is on today's radio show video, go to emini.cfrn.net. That's probably where you're watching this now, unless you're watching it on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is, in case you're watching it on the Google Plus page, our YouTube channel is youtube.com/CFRN. Okay. We also have another channel we haven't used in a long time. It's youtube.com/Emini Futures Trading. All one long word. Emini Futures Trading. Okay. We also own eminifuturestrading.com. That's where we publish the 1 trade a days. If you sign up for the 1 trade a day program, whatever markets you choose, we do 8 markets, minimum of 2 markets at $75 per market per month. It's what folks in the industry refer to as a screaming hot deal. When you think about it, I mean, But hey, you be the judge. So $75 per market, minimum of 2 markets. So you're out 150 bucks a month. Now what you do, unlike the Concierge trade alerts, I email those out every evening to all the clients. The 1 trade a days, I publish them to this website, eminifuturestrading.com. And so whatever markets you've subscribed to, each Monday morning you'll be sent an email that has the password for your markets. If you've signed up for 8 markets, you're going to get 8 passwords. Each market is on its own password protected page. And right now, if you subscribe to all 8 markets, we have an incredible save a ton of money bonus. We also have a holiday special that Michael rolled out, I think today, or maybe he's going to roll it out tomorrow. We talked about it this afternoon. Now, you may have gotten an email today with an offer, but there's an offer where instead of a 90-day mentoring program, and then after the 90 days, you can remain an active partner for a minimum monthly fee. And you can stay active for as long as you want. We got partners that have been active with us since day 1. But we have a special right now where your mentoring program is a full 12 months. So in other words, when the 90 days runs out, nothing changes. It just keeps on going. You get the weekly trading zones. You still have access to the video library. You get to come to the live trading room every day. You get to come to the partners workshops on Thursday night. And the weekly trading zones are quite a value in and of themselves. But you also, for the full 12 months, you have unlimited access to both Michael and I for personal one-on-one mentoring. You know, maybe you're up against a hurdle, man. You've hit 7 contracts and there's something about that 8th contract or the 4th contract, whatever it is that, man, it's just busting your back and you can't, seems like every time you add that next contract at that particular, everything seems to go bonkers. Or you're having some other problem, whatever it is. You go to our mentoring page on the website and you sign up. It's cfrn.net/emini-personal-mentoring. cfrn.net/emini-personal-mentoring. Okay? And that's you and me, or you and Michael, one-on-one, nobody else, for 45 minutes in a go-to meeting room with live charts. You can see my charts, and when we get to the stage in your training where I need to verify that you are taking the trade at the proper, that you're seeing everything correct, we'll flip it around and make you the presenter, and I'll be looking at your charts, and you'll be walking me through the trade. You'll say, okay, Dwayne, here's where I got my bullish cross. Here's my pull away. Here's my pull back, the physical touch. Here's my up close, and this is the price I entered at. Did I get that right? And I'll evaluate what you've just shown me, and I'll give you either a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And if it's a thumbs down, of course, I'll explain to you what you missed or what wasn't exactly right, and then you'll keep working at it until you get it right. Okay? All right, that's it. It never loaded. Okay? Let's just leave it at that. So let's try something a little different. Aldous Huxley, mindless concentration camps. Bang. where am I going to find that quote? Did it get? Oh, it didn't put in the mindless concentration. Oh, let's just put in concentration camp. Camps. Now, why Firefox couldn't pull this off, I don't know. This was written 55 years ago, before Monsanto, before, I don't know if it was before Mother's Little Helper, the blue pill, right around the same time. Okay, read with me. Now, I want you to remember this because I want you to spend time with it, okay? I want you to sit with this. There will be, in the next generation or so, a pharmacological method of making people love their servitude and producing dictatorship without tears, so to speak, producing a kind of painless concentration camp for entire societies, so that people will in fact have their liberties taken away from them, but will rather enjoy it, because they will be distracted from any desire to rebel by propaganda or brainwashing enhanced by pharmacological methods. And this seems to be the final revolution. I do hope I can save the part 2 of the radio show today, because Garrett spoke so eloquently to this whole concept and this whole idea. I hope to have him back on the show, if not later this week, next week. We'll continue to discuss this. Now, he immediately went to fluoride. They put fluoride in the water quite a few years ago. Does fluoride prevent cavities? No. But it sort of, if you look at the timeline of time, when you were a kid, how many people do you know that had Alzheimer's? Probably very few. They called it senility, but it was not, senility was not as common as this thing we have today called Alzheimer's. See, it's the fluoride. I completely lost it. I couldn't remember. But we look at all the drug ads on TV. Now, they've got these long disclaimers. You've got a 60-second commercial where for 5 seconds they go, hey, we got this great new drug that'll make you feel better if you feel sad. And then they spend the next 55 seconds telling you how various body parts could fall off by taking this pill. But if you're sad, it could make you glad. Not if my body parts fall off. And so I understand that they're doing this to cover their backside and disclaim everything so that they don't get sued and lose money because they like their money. So this has to do with part of the conspiracy theory that so many don't buy into. One of my guests, he was a regular guest for a while. I need to bring him back. Wayne Jett wrote a book called The Fruits of Graft. The Fruits of Graft. I want you to check this out. And I'm going to have to step away for just a moment while you take a look at this, but just stay with me and I'll be right back. Okay, just for you, I'm going to spend 5 minutes tonight and figure out how to pause this, because that's it. I'm done. We're wrapping it. I want you to check out The Fruits of Graft. It was written by Wayne Jett. You can Google up CFRN, Fruits of Graft, CFRN, Wayne Jett. He was on the show a number of times. He wasn't always treated with respect by my co-host, but that's no longer an issue. And so I would encourage you to read this. According to Garrett, he believes that what Aldous Huxley is talking about has to do with this class warfare. Okay, I don't know if you know what GMOs are, genetically modified, I don't need these headphones, genetically modified organisms. It's what they're doing to our food, okay? And Garrett read an article, I'm going to get a copy of the article and share it with you, that says the #1 leading cause of cancer today is GMO food, genetically modified foods. And of all the genetically modifieds, the #1 killer is the popcorn you pop in the microwave. Next time you go to the store and you get some of that popcorn, you read the back. Find out if you're feeding your kids poison. Fluoride, by the way, it doesn't prevent cavities, but it's an incredibly effective rat poison. Why would one class of people want to wipe out another class of people? You know, I really like some of the things that Ted Cruz stands for, but he's Monsanto friendly. And Trump may be as well. I don't know. But I'm concerned about the health of our country. And I mean that on many different levels. Economic, physical, spiritual. We're sick and we need help. Our hearts remain heavy tonight for the people of Brussels and all of Belgium, and please keep those people in your prayers. The wounded, those who are in hospital beds now in pain, and the families who are left with the question, why me? Why us? Why our family? Now, I didn't think about this before, but my wife says, you know, Dwayne, this happened in front of the security checkpoint, not after the security checkpoint. And I had seen the picture, and I saw the 3 guys. 2 guys were wearing a glove with a detonator. The 3rd guy, the one that got away, was the watcher. He's the one who's there to make sure they do their job, and he gets to run off. So does that mean he gets less Vestal virgins, or how does that work? I don't know. I bid you adieu. I hope to see you all tomorrow morning in the live trading room. Go to apply.cfrn.net. Make sure you click the link in the follow-up email, or you won't get the link and the password. And tomorrow morning when the bell rings and we're all in there laughing and cajoling and racking up points, you'll be out in the cold, feeling lost and alone. Don't do that to yourself. Click the link, come join in, spend 5 days, no cost, no obligation, no credit card, no nothing. Just come. We'll not only provide you, if you don't have it, we'll provide you with a platform, with some live data, and you'll get to use our indicators for 5 full days. We'll spend one-on-one time with you, making sure you know how to read the indicators, so that at the end of 5 days, you know if this is something that you want to own or not. Try it before you buy it. Have a great evening, and I will see you all, like I say, hopefully tomorrow morning in the live trading room. And if I don't see you there, I'll see you on the radio. Take care.